Greetings, YouTubers. It is Tuesday, February 13th, I believe, 2018, here in Greeley, Colorado. As you can see, I'm out in the car again. So the real estate broker showed up yesterday and started going through stuff. Man, these gals, there's two gals that showed up, and they worked their tushies off. I mean, they go through every box, every drawer, every closet, every nook and cranny. And they've got bags and bags of stuff that's just junk, trash, stuff that we've accumulated over 35 years that's not worth anything to us. I don't think we've looked at any of it for probably the 35 years that we've had it. So anyway, there's bags and bags and bags of stuff that's probably going to go into the trash can. And then I didn't get any video of the house. I will. I'll probably get some tonight or maybe tomorrow. They should be finishing up tonight, I think. They're in the garage right now, which is probably the scariest place. And they should be done with that sometime around midday. And as they find stuff, what they've been doing is, using bookshelves and other places and then displaying items that, like you would in a store. It's kind of a unique approach to stuff. And, anecdotal data from, admittedly a biased source is that 80% of the stuff will sell. I mean, if that's true, 80% is good. I mean, I don't care how much I get for it. If it were up to just me alone, if it were my decision, I would have just given the stuff away a long time ago and called it done. So I don't really care how much I get. To have 80% of it gone that I don't have to pick up and carry away, that is totally worth it. 35% I think is the cut that the broker is going to take, and then she's also going to try and sell a motorcycle. So I gave her a cash price. I'm sitting out here in a parking lot, so forgive me if I get distracted by people driving by. I gave her a cash price. I want this much money, and then she agreed to split anything that she makes above that dollar value, and it's cheap. I mean, somebody who wants a motorcycle, boy, look for an estate sale in Greeley, and I'll tell you, you're going to find a good deal on a bike, on a nice Harley in good shape. So so that's happening, and of course it gives me time to sit here and yak at you guys. And I'm sorry that my thoughts are so disjointed. I don't prep for these. I don't create an outline or a script, or I don't do a whole lot of editing. You basically what you end up seeing are bits and pieces that I shoot, and they're right out of the camera, and then I string them together. I don't cut them. I think there were a couple where I overlaid some things and stuff, but by and large, what you see is what you get. And I kind of like that. To me, it feels more honest and real. So anyway, that's why I do it this way. And of course, I end up rambling and going on longer than I probably should or would be necessary for something that was a little more succinct and followed a plan. So anyway, that's just kind of the way I do it. And I'm sorry if that doesn't live up to, the expectations of some people. Can't please everybody, and I'm not gonna try. I've tried for far too long to do that, and I'm done trying to please everybody. Got the dogs with me. I don't know if you can probably see Charlie. There's Charlie, man. You don't get to see him much. He's kind of shy. And then Cassie's over here. She's kind of sticking her head up. They barely got enough room to sit back there. This car is packed. I mean, it's packed. Even the passenger seat is, maybe there's another 12 inches on top of these couple boxes here I've got next to me. But literally everything that I want to keep, everything that my daughter wants to keep, a couple of things that my sister wants to keep, bless her, she's on her way. She offered, she goes, all you got to do is ask and I'll be here. And I didn't even ask. She said, I'm coming. So she's on her way. She's got some things that she's got to do, I think, up until Thursday. So I think probably Thursday night or Friday morning, she's going to be on the road, coming to help me get rid of whatever's left after the estate sale, put it into storage, or some of it I told her she could take. There's a couple of family heirlooms that go back 100 years or more, and I told her she could have those. I'd hate to see those go away. Like my great grandfather's guitar. He was oh man, he was in his 90s, I think, when he died. And I barely remember him. He was in a wheelchair, I think, when I have my earliest recollections of life on the planet, and I remember him and sitting in a wheelchair. And he had a 1937 Recording King. It was made in 1937 by the Gibson Corporation, and they marketed it through Montgomery Ward. You remember those folks? Anyway, it was $9.97 for this guitar back in 1937, which was probably a lot of money. And I think I've shared with you its condition. It's been kind of beat up because, I was like 10 years old, I think, when he passed away, and he willed that guitar to me, and that's how I started playing. And I've been playing ever since I was 10. And then I've got my new one, my Carbon. That's the only guitar I'm keeping. Selling the electric, giving the 1937 Recording King to my sister to keep as a family heirloom, maybe pass on to one of her sons. One of her sons plays, so it'd be really great to see him get it. My grandfather wrote a book, and I kept a copy of his book. Pictures I found, going through boxes, I found old pictures that go back. And man, I used to be good looking at one time. I don't know what happened to me. It's all that hard living, I guess. And so I've got my pictures from, my past life, family, friends, that kind of stuff. So I'm out of the house till, I think they finished up around 8 o'clock last night. It's, I think it's around 11:30 right now, 11:30 in the morning. I just finished a Carl's hamburger and thought I'd come over to my favorite parking lot here and behind the Sonic. Only it's daytime this time. I'm not in the Sonic dark anymore. I'm in the Sonic daylight, and because of the cell network signal strength is so much better here. Been pricing out stuff like winter dual zone coolers and WeBoost cell network repeaters, booster repeaters, solar stuff. I've looked at the Renogy. I think 400 watts is like the minimum I want to go. I want to have enough power to do stuff. I've got a dialogue that I kind of participated in on the cheaprvliving.com forum about running air conditioning off of solar panels, and the consensus is that you can't do it. And you know what? I've got no experience. I'm not qualified to speak into this because I don't have any background to pull from. But just looking at the math, I think that there's probably a way to make it happen. If I'm stuck in the middle of quartzite in August, I'm going to want air conditioning. I'm sorry. I'm going to want air conditioning. I'm going to get a generator. I've been looking at the Ryobi 2,000 watt generator. It's got an app that you can talk to it to find out what the fuel level is. Might have some other features. It's got USB ports. It's got an inverter in it. Probably a modified sine wave. I'd be shocked if it was pure sine. It looks like a good little generator based on its maximum operating wattage and its peak wattage, and what the manufacturer says its maximum power requirements are for the air conditioner. I should be able to get it started and then run it off of solar in a small, well-insulated trailer, which the trailer that I'm considering and planning on building out will be. I should be able to cool it down and keep it cool, at least comfortable, for a good while, and then maybe run it again get it cool. It'd probably take, I don't know, 10 minutes, if that, from what I've heard. Again, I have no experience to back this up. Just looking at the space involved, the amount of BTUs that the air conditioner can pull out, and all of that. So, so anyway, kind of got off on a tangent there when I was talking about my solar. 400 watts, I think, is probably the minimum that I want to look at. And AGM batteries, I want to have probably 400 amp hours so that I can run 200 amps. I think you can run them down to 50%, is what I've been told. All of the other power requirements that I have are probably going to be nominal. You know, my laptop, my cell phone, my camera battery. You know, I don't need a microwave. I'm not planning on having a microwave. I want to put in a small wood burning stove. I've seen some setups that have them, and I've seen a couple of varieties. Ones that are made for maritime use, for boats, yachts, and then others that were made for like RV use. Why is everything for RVs so bloody expensive? OMG. I thought, you know what? I am going to get some raw sheet metal. I can weld. I mean, I'll go get a welder at Harbor Freight for a couple of $100. I can buy that welder and the sheet metal and probably spend a couple of hours and weld one up myself for less than it would cost for me to buy one. So, but I'd like to have a wood burning stove, but they seem cool, quaint. I think I'll probably be in places where there should be firewood, or at least I could go buy it. Okay, so every time I use this camera, I learn something new about it, I guess. I learn something new every day. I guess you can tell I don't use it for video much. I've always been a still photographer, but so apparently it'll only take a maximum of 12 minutes or something, or maybe I need to move something. I'm not sure why it shut off, but it did. Anyway, gave me a chance to get some other things done. I've already emptied the chip. It wasn't anywhere near full, so it wasn't a storage issue. And I think the last thing I was talking about was the stove. So anyway, I think a wood burning stove would be kind of cool. If you notice, the car's a little emptier. I actually took the opportunity to go and put some stuff in a small storage unit. Just for, I need to get the stuff that I'm going to keep out of the house. Because everything that's in the house is considered for sale, and there are some things obviously that I don't want to sell, like my clothes, the ones that I want to keep, my camera, my guitar, and I managed to keep the telescope, that big giant enormous Celestron 8-inch telescope. I'm really happy about that. I may live to regret it, I don't know, but I'm going to get at least one good night of viewing out in the inky black skies of the Arizona desert. And if it just turns out to be too much to haul around, then you know, maybe I'll think about getting rid of it. But so anyway, I stopped at the storage unit and unloaded some stuff. Got a little more room here. The dogs have a little more room, and we stopped and I let them kind of run around the. There's a dog park down the street here, so we let them run around and burn off some energy. So man, I'm getting close. This weekend, the contents will be sold. The weekend following, the house will close. I'm just, I tend towards the paranoid, so I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So things are going along well, and I just hope they continue to do that. So yeah, that's the update, with a little pause in there for me to learn how to use my camera one more time. I'm out in the Sonic parking lot again, and I'm going to use the phone to upload the file. I'll probably do a little bit of editing. I haven't heard any comments about the little intro thing I made. My daughter thinks it's cheesy, and after looking at it twice, I kind of think it's cheesy too. I like the logo. I think that's probably cool. I might keep that. I'm working on an overlay. Yes, Missy. Who are you barking at? Hey, no breaking. I'm trying to talk here. So I'm working on a little transparency. So there's, you know, the little logo that you see down on the bottom right hand corner of some people's videos down here. Yeah, transparent GIF looks like the obvious solution for that, but I haven't actually tried it yet, so I'm not assuming that it will work. And then I'm going to be on the road. I'll be heading to Arizona, Yuma. I'm going to stop in Mexico and get some meds, because I don't have medical insurance anymore, and my prescription has expired. I take high blood pressure medication. Hey, let me talk here, you. And so I'm just going to get it in Algodones. That's where I'm planning on going for our first stop. Well, we're going to stop in Albuquerque. I'm going to drive about 8 hours. On the 24th, I expect to be hooked up to a trailer and on the road. Maybe the 25th. I've got to get a trailer hitch. I need money to do that. So maybe the 25th I'll be on the road. Stop in Albuquerque. There's some BLM land down there, I think. Some free camping. I'll spend the night there. Probably just sleep in the car or in the trailer. Just throw some stuff on the floor and sleep. And then I'm going to head to the Quartzsite area, Yuma, Arizona, Quartzsite, that area. Find some place to camp for a couple of days. And jump down into Mexico. I've got a passport, so I should be good to go. Grab some meds, and then I'm going to head up to the San Bernardino Mountains and spend a couple of weeks up there while I build out the trailer. And I'm going there because I've got family in the area, and it would be good to have kind of a home base to work out of, and all of that while I work on the trailer. And then I'm going to head up probably the eastern Sierras through Long Valley, up towards Mammoth Lakes area, Bishop, Lone Pine. I used to do a lot of backpacking out of Lone Pine. It'd be good to see that again. Independence, California, that little town they have on Independence Day in Independence. They used to have a parade. I haven't been there for, 30 years probably. But, all the folks that lived there in Independence, like all 50 of them, would get out their little trailers and decorate them up with, red, white, and blue and whatnot. And they'd have a little parade, and they'd tow their trailers down Main Street in Independence. It was really kind of cool. I liked that. There was a great little restaurant right there on the cross streets of Highway 395, I think it is, and whatever the main street is that goes perpendicular to that through Independence. There was a little restaurant there. I can't remember what it was called, but I remember my friend and I, whenever we would go backpacking, we'd be up for like 7, 8, 9 days, and the first thing we would do is hit that restaurant, get some steak and eggs, and just kind of enjoy a real, honest, fire cooked meal. You couldn't have fires up in the high Sierras. You had to cook on a little propane or butane or something like that. And then I'm gonna probably camp my way up the eastern Sierras and head towards Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where I've got family up there as well. And I think I'm gonna look for some property. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything just yet. I'm gonna look around, take my time. I'm looking for something remote and cheap. And I want, more than a 10 by 10 lot. I want something a little bigger. An acre, at least an acre. I would love to get 5. My ideal would be, 20, 40 acres. And I'm going to build, I don't want to call it a tiny home, because that kind of carries with it the context that it's not going to be built to code, and I want to do that. Simply because I don't want the hassles, and I'm going to build it over time. So, I'm going to travel as much of the year as I can, make excursions up to the property in Idaho whenever I get it, and slowly build a place so that when I get too old to travel, whenever that might be, I've got a place to call home. So yeah, that's the plan. And this is already going to be an interminably long video, so I'm going to try and shut up right now and let y'all go back to doing something productive. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you posted as best as I can, and we'll see you soon. Later.